Hey everybody, Mike Miller with the Herald Times, columnist Jeremy Price, back here at Assembly Hall, previewing Saturday night's 8:30 tip-off, Indiana versus Purdue. The rivalry is back on, Jeremy.
It is back on. Both teams ranked for the first time since 2008, and nobody wanted to bite on it in the press conference, but there's no doubt that this game has a little more meaning than some recent IU-Purdue games have, especially when you look at where Indiana sits in the Big Ten title race. And even Purdue, who I've really thought was probably out of it for a couple weeks now, is really only 2 games back, so it's not out of reach for them either.
It's as big as one as we face, obviously because of the size. And when you've got 3 centers like that, they play 2 of them together. It's always going to be an issue. And so we've got to do our work early, and you don't guard them with one person. And we've got to have tremendous team defense, and we've got to have tremendous team rebounding. And at the same time, we've got to be able to get out to our strengths.
The big matchup here, obviously, will be the Indiana front court versus the Purdue front court, the massive front court for Purdue with A.J. Hammonds, Caleb Swanigan, and Isaac Haas. Very key for Indiana to keep Thomas Bryant out of that early foul trouble that he's been prone to really the last couple weeks. One interesting thing is what Indiana does with the starting lineup. We saw last Sunday at Michigan State going against that front line of Matt Costello, Deontay Davis, flipping Colin Hartman and Max Bielfeld. Maybe that's something Tom Crean considers tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that's certainly up for consideration. I don't know if he does that right out of the gate. It is an interesting matchup with the front court. I think that's the big turning factor in Purdue's favor. The fact that they've won 3 in a row in this series over the last 2 years has been because of their size and their front court and the way they've handled that part of the game. Indiana at least has a little bit more punch to offer in that department this year, I think, with Max Bielfeld, Thomas Bryant, even Juwan Morgan and OG Anunoby can provide something off the bench. So Indiana's got a little bit more to offer, but Purdue also has added freshman Caleb Swanigan to the mix in addition to Isaac Haas and A.J. Hammond, so they've got maybe a little bit more depth than they've had in the past. I think the big thing for both teams is which team can take the most advantage of its strengths in that matchup. Purdue obviously has more of the power, the size, in the post kind of thing, but Indiana has the ability to maybe stretch the floor a little bit more, get out and transition a little more, those kind of things. So whoever can kind of impose their will in that category will have a big advantage.
And obviously this will have to be a big game for Indiana's backcourt too, the one area where Indiana has the distinct advantage.
Yeah, Purdue's defense was really good against Indiana last year, not just in the front court, but in all phases of the game. And so Indiana's got to be focused and disciplined, take good shots, and create good shots, and can't have sort of those extended lulls that we've sometimes seen in some of the recent games.
8:30 Saturday night. You can catch the game on ESPN. Follow us on Twitter at Mike Miller HT, at JP Price. We'll see you at the game.